She's snitching again. She's snitching again. But
As
just
she should.
nah, none of that. But yes, gentlemen, are y'all ready for this first time ever collab with the Was It Good Though podcast and the evening at the movies?
Uh, I'm born ready.
All right, all right. What's going on, y'all? As you can hear and as you can see, we have a collab right here live. Kasey, thank you for well, it's a collab, so it's not you joining us or us joining you. It's just pretty much we did an episode a couple of weeks ago on mass debaters.
Yes.
Every time I say it out loud, it's just like I realize.
Yeah, I had a discussion with somebody the other night about that, and it's like I go around and I try and hype all of our shows, but when it comes to mass debaters, I have to make sure I clearly
Break it
syllable
up.
by syllable say the name, because otherwise, as you can tell, if you say it too fast, it
Right.
might sound a little bit inappropriate.
Yeah, and I think we pretty much plugged the show on our episode 68, and our guest was just like, "Wait, did you say masturbators?" And it's just like that's pretty much how it's supposed to be. But Kasey,
Uh-huh.
Kasey, go ahead and plug your podcast really fast.
So, I am one of your co-hosts for an evening at the movies. My other two co-hosts are a little bit under the weather and prepping for Oklahoma, Texas this weekend. Just saying. But an evening at the movies is everybody's favorite movie-based podcast where we eat stale popcorn, we drink watered-down sodas, and we discuss all of our favorite movies and why we love them. Sometimes we discuss crappy movies though, so it's not all great movies. But we get deep, we get funny, we get hilarious. It's a lot of fun. If you guys have not checked out An Evening at the Movies, I highly recommend checking it out. You can find it wherever you get your podcast listening fix. As well, I also recommend checking out all of the shows in the I Did Not Make These Rankings podcast network. Mass Debaters, The Sip List, Crime Rewind, Crushgasm, Men of the Prize, and Love is Black. All great shows, all great hosts. Check them out and give some love. They all work hard for what they do and are great people. So
That's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you. And we
mhm.
are here. We're going to discuss, Kasey, when I sent you like which movie I was recommended, it took me until today to be like, damn, I should have did something on the horror side because I see you guys are in y'all horror fest as well as us. And I was like, here I go trying to go for something comedy, and I'm like, damn, definitely should have did a horror. I know I dropped the ball, Jason.
I've told her she swears she's so funny, so that's what she tried to play into.
Whoa,
What
nah,
happens?
It's all
it's I'm funny.
it,
Like they ain't no she think, but and we're discussing a good funny movie. Like we're doing Horrible Bosses, dropped in 2011. I mean, weren't y'all excited to actually wanted to have a conversation about this movie? Like,
I was. I mean, I truthfully I haven't seen the movie since, well, I watched it to prep for this, but I hadn't seen it since I saw it in the movie theater. So it's been what, 12 years?
Yeah, I've seen it
So
since
definitely it was definitely a trip down memory lane.
I've seen it since then, but I remember just all the movies that came out around that same exact time. So you see like Jason Sudeikis in a lot of different things, and I recently picked up on Always Sunny in Philadelphia, so it was dope to see Charlie Day here.
Mhm.
Then just remembering his character in Always Sunny in Philadelphia, so it's dope to see that as well.
I would say watching it. I just started watching The Morning Show with Jennifer Aniston. Dope show series that's on Apple TV. And I'm not gonna lie, like Jennifer Aniston is one of those actresses where I forget how comedic she is, or I just never appreciate it. But I love a lot of her movies. Like she is hilarious. Oh, Kasey, like, oh, you lesson right now.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, her character in this movie. Oh, damn.
Yeah, no, we can say Adele was pussy because I would have took it. I would have done it. I
in
would
a
have done it.
heartbeat.
Look, Dale was
And I
being
mean,
loyal and faithful. Oh, y'all didn't.
yeah. Well, no, I just get like Amanda and I, because we're both diehard Friends fans, have brought up this topic, and we both pretty much agree that um she's one. Jennifer Aniston is one of those ageless wonders that doesn't matter how old she gets, she still looks 25, 28 years old.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like looking at this movie and then We Are the Millers, love both, and then of
Yes.
course Horrible Bosses too. So I think she was probably one of the wildest characters in this. Her and probably Colin Farrell, or no, that's not his last name. What was the Coke son's the actor? It's
Colin
Um,
Farrell.
yes,
it
Colin
is Farrell.
Farrell.
Okay, okay, so I had
Yes.
it right. Those two was probably the
Yeah.
wildest ones in this movie. But yeah, so I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I could, he's probably the bigger asshole than she was. Well, no, it's not.
nah,
She was an asshole too,
I,
but I mean, most legitimate, you know, men aren't necessarily going to be overly offended by her per se, where Colin Farrell's character, he was a dick.
I like Colin Farrell though. He got a lot of range, man. He can do the real serious role. He can do the comedic role. Of course, he's in Batman. I'm excited for the Penguin TV show coming. Wait, don't hate on that.
I'm not. It'll come, I guess. It's not nothing I'm looking forward to, but it might be fire. It might be fire. But we pretty much at the opening of this scene, we got introduced to all the guys. Who was y'all's favorite between Nick, Dale, and Kurt?
I'm gonna let Kasey answer that one for me.
I think they all kind of sort of have their moments. I probably lean a little bit more on Dale.
Okay.
I'm not mad at that. Um, I think I'm gonna go with Kurt. I'm gonna go with Kurt because he was just like the um
The
kind of
one that was,
perverted.
yeah,
He was,
fucking
he
all the
was,
time.
he was kind of perverted.
I'm gonna go
Just a
with Nick.
wee bit.
Yo, Kurt was wild. How are you coming to this party? And we're gonna be jumping around in this episode, but
Mm.
and you getting mouth from the daggone dude who you supposed to be trying to kill's wife. Kurt, like,
if
what
you
you doing?
if you I mean he's been fucking my friend for how many years? Somebody has to get back one way.
Wow. Actually, I'm not upset with that logic. That makes sense. But out of the three, I'm gonna say Nick, because he was obviously the one that was more level-headed and responsible.
Of course you pick Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? So, who do you think had it worse with the situation from their boss, especially after Kurt's boss died? Because they was obviously cool and best friends, but then you had Colin Farrell's character and it ended up taking their company. Like, who had it? Who was in a worse situation?
For sure, Nick.
Uh, I would probably go Nick, just for the pure fact Kevin Spacey was a hardcore dick, for lack of a better metaphor. But I mean,
I
damn, could you be any more of an asshole than Kevin Spacey was?
I liked his character though. Like, hey, like I could see him probably being like that for real. Like, you ever seen somebody act well?
yeah. Come on, yeah, Kevin Spacey, yeah.
Just seeing how he took onto the role. He played like the nice guy that really was evil. Just the whole way he played that. It went really well.
I thought it was wild when he was just like, yeah, so the vice president is going to be me. After having Nick bust his ass, miss his Gam's funeral, and he
Yeah,
laughed in his face. Like,
like literally, like, oh my god, you're Gam. It's like, sir, could you be any less sensitive? I mean, obviously the guy lost his grandmother, but at the same time, yeah, it adds that whole rich element of assholeness to the character because, like you said, Nick busted his ass to get that promotion, and then he literally just, yeah, you know what? The new VP is me, and that's how it's going to be. But but at the same time, I'm only going to take 85% of the money
yeah.
allocated for my raise. So yeah, so you're going to leave 15% on the table, but you're going to take 85% and put it in your pocket. Okay, asshole.
And then he's going to expand his office, gonna bust the
Oh
wall
yeah,
out.
yeah. I'm going to bust this wall out, and then make my office even more big and more luxurious than it already is.
I was hoping the scene where Nick
Dick.
like went up to him and just beat his ass. I was hoping that was real, but then I was just like, nah, it's no way. And the fact
Yeah.
that everybody else in the office was pretty much laughing and cheering him on. Like everybody hated Kevin Spacey's character. But he was, like you said, as an asshole, like those kind of managers. And Nick is just like, wait a minute, bitch. That you've been hinting that that's supposed to be mine. He was like, yeah, you worked hard, but nah. And so,
Well, I think we've all had bosses like that in our life. Maybe not necessarily that much of an asshole, but we've had bosses that had been jerks and a pain in the ass to deal with.
Definitely. When was the last time y'all? What was y'all horrible boss? Can y'all recall the last horrible boss y'all had?
yeah, I can. He was a dumbass. Like he was a pure dumbass. But I'm not gonna lie, like I gave him like really, I didn't take that man serious at all whatsoever, because he would anytime he would put my name down, he would spell it JAS, and I would stop him and correct him and say I need two Z's every time. Like he just
I mean,
like
I get that too because I'm that guy who always growing up, whenever anybody would write my name out, it'd always be Casey, not Kasey. So it gets old really quickly when you have seriously K, not C, K, not C.
okay,
Okay, and then 2 days later, it's like
the
back
same
C.
shit.
It's like, oh my god, are you fucking kidding me?
All right, so yeah, I wasn't an asshole. He deserved that then. Thanks, Kasey, for co-signing that.
Man,
I don't know. I would say probably I had a boss. Oh, probably a year before COVID that like didn't know how to deal with clients, didn't know how to deal with employees, was a ruthless dictator, and it really made. And when you're spending 40 hours a week working your butt off for a company, life's too fucking short to be annoyed and pissed off and angry over stupid ass freaking bullshit because you have a horrible boss.
that's a fact. That is a fact.
Jason, you got one?
Man, hell yeah. That's why I left Home Depot. Man, I was in that bit. I thought that was gonna be I was like Nick. I thought Home Depot was gonna be the end all, be all. I didn't, I was just a kid that coasted in high school. I was cool with being the C student, the B student. I was right there. I was perfectly fine. I didn't really care to go to college, but my parents said I had to go, so I went. And then they said I needed to get a job if I wanted to do the things I wanted to do. So Home Depot was the first job outside of high school. I had worked at Pizza Hut prior to that. I worked at Home Depot in college. I was at Home Depot, like I was gonna get fired at Home Depot like 3 or 4 years when I worked there. And I finally made it into management. But then when I made it into management, I started kind of taking it serious. I'm like, man, I can. This is actually pretty cool. This is actually pretty good. I had the manager with me. We gonna say this like Kurt boss, man. I love my manager. He was mentoring me. He was teaching me. He was taking me out the state, showing me different things, all the different classes. And then he had some kids, and he wanted to go be closer to his children, and they brought in this fucking midget.
Was it a real midget?
In my story, he is.
Okay.
He had to. So I was just used to just being over opinionated, maybe, and like my boss, it wasn't like he wasn't he didn't feel threatened by my opinions or my thoughts. Like he may have said, "Hey, Jason, you don't want to do like this." So, just call you out in certain instances, but like this dude was like trying to knock me down to size in every situation. Like he wrote me up 2 times in like 2 weeks, and I was like, bro, I haven't been written up in like 4 or 5 years. Like, what is this? Like, what's going on? But he began to play with my time, and I had to leave that company like altogether. Like, people don't quit jobs because of jobs; they quit people, and I definitely quit because of that. MF for that, man.
Yeah, that's true. Because that's just like saying a lot of people stay at jobs because of the people and not because of the job. When you
That's
got
why
like a good crew around you.
his bitch ass got fired, Mike Rutledge. I hope you fucking burn out here.
Dropping names.
Oh yeah, nah, we gonna keep that name forever. I never forget him.
Mm. Well, hopefully he'll still subscribe. But since like the guys seem like, after a shitty day at work, which everybody deals with, they go to the bar. And we actually find out like Dale he's a registered sex offender. That's why I feel like Dale might have it worse because he can't pick and choose where to work. Cause
It's not
True.
Kasey. Whose situation would you of the 3 men? Whose situation would you rather have? As far as a horrible boss,
So, as far as a horrible boss goes, I am a 46-year-old male, and at the end of the day, I would prefer to not have Kurt and not have Nick's situation, and Jennifer Aniston can sexually harass me all she wants. Just saying.
all right, Kasey, let me throw in some parameters in here to make this a little more spicy. Let's just
Okay.
say you are a faithful man. You got a woman at home. You don't want to mess
Oh,
that
well,
up.
damn.
Right. I got to throw that in there because that's what Dale has. And
Well, no, that you're exactly right, though. I mean, there is all that little hitch in the giddy up. Um, if you piece together everything like they pieced it together in the movie, and like you're a faithful, you've got a fiance or a wife, baby mama, whatever at home. I would say probably Dale probably has it worse only because of the fact that you could get divorced and you can get slapped with child support and alimony and all of that, and that should get expensive.
and he can't pick and choose where to work because he got that record.
Yeah.
So so Jason, with those parameters, who has it worse?
Nick. Still, if I'm Dale, man, look, this gonna be my 3 for 3 jazz. I'm trusting that she's not gonna tell on me.
So you remember that lie they used to tell online where it's like black men don't cheat?
Um,
Even in hypotheticals, y'all shouldn't be cheating. Because like, all right. But no, I think Nick definitely got it worse.
easily, Nick has the worst situation.
I mean, you could make arguments for any one of the three of them to have a bad
Yeah.
situation, whether it's Kurt and his coke sniffing boss, whether it's Nick and his Kevin Spacey boss, or Jennifer Aniston and her sexual harassment.
Do y'all think if he would have, okay, let's just say hypothetically, if Dale was like, all right, I'll sleep with you just so you know how it is. Do you think she would have tried to double back, or a one time is a good time for her and she's just like, I'm done?
I guess it all depends on how it was. Like it could be so horrible that she tell, or it can be so great that she comes back. That's a that's a horrible risk.
Do people snitch if it's bad?
People snitch if it's good.
Well,
X-Men, I
yeah,
don't know.
because they want.
I I get it. I mean, people are gonna, if it's not good, there will be people who will open their damn mouth and say, "Hey, freaking so and so didn't know where to put it, didn't know how to use it," and it's like, you know, I've had girlfriends before where it, yeah, they talk amongst themselves back and forth behind your back, and whether they're telling the truth or not, it is what it is. But they all freaking gossip. Not that the guys don't gossip either. Don't. I'm not saying that by any stretch of the imagination, because guys locker room talk just as much as the girls and their coffee shop talk.
That is
I
very
mean,
true.
Jason can attest to the fact that we locker room talk.
Yeah.
Jason, people, I was gonna say people that's listening can't hear you shaking your head, so you gotta.
Yes, 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 yes. There, yes, it happens. It
I used to do
happens.
that all the time when we started an evening at the movies. Amanda literally would have to. People can't hear your nod, and it's like,
I
okay, well,
only do it. I only do it when I don't want to.
Yeah, he does it on purpose because he'll just be like, "Oh, Jazz is right." I'm like, we can't hear you. People be listening. They right. Yeah, but
Question. Before you continue. So at the point of they where they go for relief after work. What do y'all do to decompress from just one of those shitty days y'all have had at work?
uh, I'll get some
anymore
wine
for me, yeah,
and probably
I'm
try to see if I got an edible on deck.
that definitely is very beneficial. Um, the last thing, so between myself and Amanda and Shanna, your three an evening at the movies hosts, and then everybody else in the network, Dre and Harvey and Kendra and all of that. If one of us needs to decompress and do an episode, we could literally probably pull one out of thin air and get online and freaking do an episode just like that.
Oh,
But
that's dope.
yeah, otherwise, like having a glass of wine, edible, something to get away from the stress, because at the end of the day, that that stress is a bitch, and if you have to bring that shit home with you, it ain't worth it, because it causes a whole big freaking headache that, yeah, not worth it.
That's a
You
fact.
cut ties and leave that shit at fucking work.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I've been dealing with um dealing with like people new into the job. People are saying like, they're taking the job home, they're studying things. I'm like, man, if I don't, there has to be a fine work-life balance between anything that you do. But I'm big on, especially now, like peace, like having that peace, just having that decompression. So whenever I leave work, get off work, I'm playing with the kids. I'm playing, getting the music going. Shit, I might hit Jazz up. I don't know. Ain't no telling who. I may just hit somebody up like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing? Check in, XYZ." But then, when I was smoking, yeah, I definitely would. That would definitely be my go-to for the day. That'd be what I'm looking for the end of the day. Right now, I'm just waiting for my card to come back through, and I'll be back.
Yeah, I've had days where it's literally like you're counting down those last hour, 2 hours, whatever, because you know at the end of the day there's either going to be a bottle of beer, a glass of wine, whatever your case may be, maybe an edible, maybe a blunt, whatever. And it's like, can this day hurry up and get over because I know what's sitting at home waiting for me.
Nah,
and
that's
working
true.
and working from home is probably worse. Like I let me take I enjoy working from home, but it's like, damn, what happened to separation of church and state? God damn, it's like that's where I work from. Over there, it's like I enjoy the ride going back home. I just like driving too though. So I may still just take that night ride. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Oh,
especially
I was just gonna say, I'm one of those people that definitely, at the end of the day, till I can get home, I will climb in the car, hit the ignition, roll the windows down, crank the freaking stereo up, and just sit back, hand on the steering wheel, and just cruise home. Sometimes I'm not going rushing home. I just take my time and just drive and drive and drive. Let my thoughts mellow out.
yeah. I
But
mean, that's definitely very helpful. Let me ask you this, since you said that, what is your like music of choice to decompress to? If you got to turn a playlist on, like what kind of stuff is on that playlist of after a shitty day at work?
mm, if I'm trying to get rid of the shittiness of the day, generally I will turn on like 80s music because it helps mellow me out.
Right.
If it's something that really has me pissed off and upset and I'm not ready to let that shit go, I will definitely crank on like some heavy metal, like, head banging, you know, keep the blood boiling kind of. But again, that's not necessarily the healthiest way of letting all the tension and anger go, though, too. So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sometimes I like to because some things I like to go head into. So I have a punching bag. So yeah, I'm hitting that as hard as I can. Just boom, 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 boom. But yeah, my music it just depends. It depends on my mood, whatever I want to go into at that moment.
Okay. Mine is pretty much the same around the board. Sad shit. So that's pretty much what I pretty much go to. Something sad and somebody done lost their love of their life. It just gets me back to where I need to be. So unless I'm in the gym, then I don't listen to nothing sad. I'm pretty much listening to rap. But let me ask y'all this: like when the guys are at the gym or excuse me, at the bar, and they're pretty much trying to decide what they're about to do, and then they see an old friend, and it was somebody I think they went to school with, and he had a
High school.
successful job, and he was just like, "Yeah, the market is trash out here, y'all. Like, I ain't got no money. Can y'all buy my drink?" And then he was like, "Actually, let's go ahead and hype this up. Like, can I give y'all a hand job outside, like $4 each?" Like, how are y'all like handling that type of situation? Because that just seems completely wild and like left field.
Uh, Personally,
that's one of
um,
my least favorite reasons for going out, is because I always end up having people gravitate to me that's like, can you get me a freaking, can you get me a drink? I'll freaking get you back on payday or whatever. Or can I bum a cigarette from you or whatever the case? It's like, fool, I work my ass off 40 hours a week for my damn paycheck, and my paycheck is supporting my damn habit. I'm not trying to support your habit as well.
I respect that.
I was scared where Kasey was gonna go because I'm like, do you go to places where people just offer you hand jobs out of nowhere? Like, because
No,
that just
no, no, no,
I
no, no.
was like,
What does she look like?
yo, it might not even be a
Well, I
she,
mean,
Jason.
she kind of
Like,
sort of has the Washington State lumberjack beard.
Well, hey, but what else? Oh man, I had a thought.
Jason, do you go to places like this in Little Rock to where somebody just rolls up on you? That's just like, can you buy my drink real quick? I go ahead and handle you with a
That's what I was gonna go with. So the hand job isn't it's a undervalued gesture. Um it's a skill. It's a real skill. Everybody doesn't have it. So that wouldn't be one of the things that would appease me. So yeah, no, I wouldn't pay for the $40 handy at all.
That just seems really expensive.
Yeah, you
Well, I mean,
because that's the market
at
for
the end
the
of the day, if you're paying $4 for a handy, probably isn't going to be that great to begin with.
Because I'm curious, if you're charging $40, how much you charging for some mouth?
would it double?
I don't know. Because
Hmm.
I would think like if you give it mouth, then you throwing hands in there too, so or both hands. So it might be probably triple. But I don't know.
I don't know. I thought the other part, the market was 40, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
What other please go in
Oh, go
further
ahead.
details. Now I know you're not talking about no
Ac-
ass, Jason.
According to Twitter, it's $40.
Ass is $40?
According to Twitter.
Twitter just be lying. That's crazy. These bitches ain't making nothing.
Yeah, I don't know what the going rate for none of that shit is. I personally have never paid for nothing like that.
I've never transactionally paid for it.
But $40 for ass seems a tad bit. Yeah, that seems a little bit light on my part.
Yeah. That man, that's crazy. But I don't know. Hmm. But then they're trying to they come okay, so the guys pretty much get together. They're just like, okay, so we're just gonna kill our bosses. They had these conversations out loud a lot because I just feel like anybody walking by would be like, wait, what they trying to do? But they said it so sarcastically and not serious to where I guess you wouldn't take them serious. How did y'all feel about the scene where they actually thought they hired somebody and it was Reed Richards? For anybody who has seen the original Fantastic Four, they would get that Reed Richards reference.
Yeah, the guy whose name I can't freaking pronounce.
That's why I just say Reed Richards. And his Sue Storm was Jessica Alba. And his flame was
Oh,
Chris
Jessica
Evans.
Alba.
I'm not gonna lust over Chris Evans on this episode because he is now married. But I wouldn't lust over him anyway. But like, how did y'all feel about this scene where they found somebody on Men Seeking Men?
um, that was a Dale thing to do. That was definitely a Dale thing to do.
Yeah.
I, wet work. Wet work seems like a interesting job. It's an interesting job. I see an influx of people getting into this type of play. I personally wouldn't on my side of the world, but I mean, hey, I see you got if you're looking for something on a discount, Jazz, sometimes it doesn't end up the way you think it's going to end up what you think it's supposed to be.
Certain
Again,
services.
I think it comes back around to the whole, if you're spending, $4 or $40 for a handy or whatever, is it really going to be something that is worth it at the end of the day?
Nope.
Whatever the going rate is, I don't know. So
It was $200 and he thought he was going to get somebody to murder 3 people. I watch enough Snapped episodes to know $200 is definitely not enough. Not that I've been inquiring, but I do watch Snapped and they spend a lot more money. They get caught, but yeah.
well, I mean, at the end of the day, if it's, cause I know my luck, and I would accept the $200 and then probably get caught and go to jail. So is $200 really worth me going to jail for 20 years for? I don't think so. So somebody better be lining my pocketbook big time before I'm trying to kill somebody for you.
Yeah, no, it got to be enough money for me, for my family to be okay. if I'm caught. So nah.
For me, when I'm caught, because I always get caught.
I mean, that idea didn't work, so they thought, let's go to the hood. And Kirk is driving, and his vehicle it's like an OnStar type of situation, and it's Gregory, but that's not the guy's real name because it's something that
Yeah.
Americans can't pronounce.
Atmanon.
That I feel like trying to pronounce his name beat their ass more than their own bosses in this movie. But they pretty much go to the hood, and we see some familiar faces. We had two people that was in this movie from The Wire, the series.
Oh, you did.
But
I forgot Bunk was in here until he popped up.
yeah. So we got to see and then Jamie, excuse me, motherfucker. Jason, what did you think about motherfucker?
Motherfucker Jones. I feel like Jamie's character here was the same character he was in Baby Driver, which is like it was interesting to think about. But I mean, Jamie funny to me, so I enjoyed. Anybody like you said, Jazz. If you speaking out, he in a black club now, so they paying attention to everything that's going on. Y'all sticking out like a sore thumb. And of course, if you go in a place like that, somebody gonna try to scam you. So he did what he was supposed to do.
All right.
What?
Yeah. If you say so. I mean,
you don't think so?
I mean, it's definitely like they stand out. And you over here talking about who can I talk to hire to kill somebody, asking wild questions. So, I mean, I get it.
If you're willing to give somebody $5,000, you haven't vetted this person, you don't know this person's history, their track record, you've never had a conversation. Why would you just give them $5,000?
Because he seemed scary. His head was a tattoo, and he just had that confidence. Like he was faking
At
it.
the end of the day, I always give people $5,000. Not.
I'm not. They definitely weren't intelligent about it. Kasey, how did you feel about where he got the name Motherfucker Jones? When he stole from his mama's purse.
I might need. I mean, personally, I'm a big fan of the name to begin with. So, yeah. I mean, to me, it definitely felt like a big, huge cry or a tribute to like Samuel L. Jackson and the fact that he's the one person in the world that uses that word more than anybody else. But I mean, I like it.
I feel like Quentin Tarantino tells him in every movie that he's in, he's like, you have to say this at least 10 times. It's not in the script, but you just have to say it when you feel like the moment is right.
I think 10 times might be a little bit light.
True. Because he said it a whole lot on Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, it came out a lot in Pulp Fiction too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But not in
Yeah.
Django. I don't think he was saying it. I don't think he said it in Django. But so
No, I think you're right. But
it would have been weird for him to say that in Django, honestly. Especially looking at the
yeah,
time and everything that was going on in that movie. But
yeah, I don't think it was necessarily as fitting during Django.
right. So, and I think in the next scene we see they got the money together to give to motherfucker Jones. And he was like, no, I'm gonna be y'all murder consultant. There's no way those three men couldn't beat his ass and get their money back.
I mean, not where they were at, but I mean, they probably could have thought about that. But do you think any of these three men was going to do any kind of aggressive fighting?
No, but $5,000. I mean, but then again, I'm thinking like realistically, they were sitting in a booth. Three of them was on the same side of the booth. Three adult men, while on the other side is motherfuckers. I'm just like, why y'all all scrambled up in that booth together? But
You think they should have kind of surrounded him?
I would have beat his ass. Y'all letting $5,000 just walk for a consultant for the shit that you can just learn while watching the ID network?
I mean, you know, we had Dale. He watched Law
You
and
got a
Order.
point.
They talk shit about Dale and his Law and Order knowledge until they were able to utilize that Law and Order knowledge. But
I mean, at the end of the day, Law and Order teaches people a whole lot of shady shit to do, and
it does. And they, for some reason, still went to the house, no mask, no gloves, none of that. When they went to Colin Farrell's house.
Well, yeah, because you would think, you know, definitely gloves because it's going to hide the fingerprints, masks so that, you know, worst case scenario, all you're going to see is somebody's freaking eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, these guys weren't the most knowledgeable criminals out there.
Air quote. But also they
Well,
was
I mean, I wouldn't put air quotes out there, but I mean, at the end of the day, you know, they damn near went to freaking jail for all the shit they freaking tried to do.
but then they was they were in their own car going to these people's houses. Like if it was today, they would have definitely got caught. Like all the stuff they was doing, they would have had ring cameras, all these different. There was one camera, like street light camera, but outside of that, they would have been caught like a long time ago.
And they parked in front of the house.
Remember. Yeah, and I don't remember 2011 very much, but I don't feel like there was an awful lot of freaking traffic cameras around as much as there is now. Like, you can't do shit now without getting caught on camera.
That's a fact.
Big Brother is always watching
at all times. At all times. I don't really have that like the street cameras here though in Arkansas. They don't really have them like this.
I mean, y'all can go commit some crimes.
Well, that's not on my mind, but as you know, I think they pretty much catch people though, but nah.
But when they got into
Bobby,
is that his name? The cokehead?
Bobby Pellet. Yep.
Yeah.
Bobby's house. We see Kurt go upstairs. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he was he was doing some wild shit with a toothbrush. I was like, what is going on? That was nasty.
I get it.
That's something you doing, Jason?
My butt is off limits. Only things leave it. Personally. So no, I'm not shoving things up there for revenge. No. that's not one of my revenge tactics. If I would have maybe put hot sauce on it or something, you know, something silly. Drop it in the toilet, maybe. Pee on it, possibly. But shove it in me? No.
Yeah, no, I will back up Jason on that one.
So if y'all
nothing going in, but I would definitely like hot sauce, pee on it, dunk it in a toilet, you know, that's different. But yeah, ain't nothing going in me.
So if y'all were at your boss's house and it was obviously a shitty boss that you was dealing with, and you were just like, let me terrorize and do some nasty shit while I'm in their house while they're gone, outside of the toothbrush thing, like what would y'all do?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to, dropping my damn pants and, like cleaning the front area. You know, it is what it is. There's plenty of other stuff you can do to a boss's like toothbrush or whatever, hairbrush, whatever the case may be, without necessarily having to stick anything up something.
What would I do? Like, I wouldn't like. I would probably go find some. Well, actually, I'd go to Home Depot and
It
I would
all
get like
comes full
some.
circle.
I would get like some cedar mulch or something and just pour it throughout the house or some manure and just pour it throughout the house because it's gonna be a moment to get it out of there.
Went over his brother Mark Tremonti, who is the guitar.
I would probably try to see if there's like, depending on where it's at, if there's like an anthill close, I would get a bag and put the ants in that bag and just let them motherfuckers out in the house, somewhere in the kitchen or in their bed. No, definitely in the bed or in the kitchen for sure. Because imagine trying to like get home and you like, oh, I'm about to you tired, about to get in the bed, and it's a bunch of fucking like fire ants in your bed. You ain't going to sleep. And I'll put some on the couch so your bitch ass can't sleep down there either. Yeah, I would probably do something like that. Kasey, you know what you're doing?
Yeah. I mean, the easy way to go would obviously be like dunking in the toilet, whatever the case may be. That's the fun part, though, is trying to come up with something genius and creative at the same time as gross and nasty at the same time. Because, yeah, if they're gonna have to put their toothbrush in their freaking mouth, you gotta go over the top with what you're gonna do for payback.
Right. But I think after this scene, they go to Nick's boss's house to do some recon over there. House full of cats, or it was just one cat, but that cat seems to be moving around fast as shit through the house and jumping on people. And they leave Dale in the car because Dale is still high from the cocaine from their last recon mission. Dale talking loud as shit. I would have definitely left Dale in the car too. Because he's just like, I'm gonna honk the horn 6 times. No, bitch. Like, you're drawing attention to yourself. Like, what is happening?
Don't forget, Dale. Did you just say Dale was high on coke?
But to be fair, so was Nick. Nick was high too. They was both high, but I guess that coke just hit Dale differently.
I mean, drugs having a different effect on everybody, so you never know what. I think they need to coke. I need to say affects very differently. So
I don't be messing with that booger sugar.
Yes.
But I mean, like, Dale had an opportunity to let Kevin Spacey's character die, but he was like amped up. He said, man, I just saved somebody's life. Like, what's up? But I don't understand why Dale didn't know what he looked like. And I'm gonna say that's Nick's fault.
nobody knew what their bosses. They only knew what Bobby looked like, technically.
But Kirk knew what Kevin Spacey looked like. Because that's how he was able to identify him from the window. He was just like, oh shit, he's stabbing Hawkman or whatever his name was. So that's what Kirk said. I think Dale was the only one that didn't know what the bosses looked like.
But Kurt only knew because he was looking at his wife in the picture before they went to the room. That's why he knew.
He still knew though.
They don't count.
How? He knew what he looked like. It don't matter when.
If Kurt was outside, he wouldn't have knew that was it, man.
Okay, I see what you're saying. He found out when he got to the house.
Exactly.
Got you.
which was goofy anyway, because he had that hideaway rock, and he gonna try to throw it through the window.
Didn't break nothing.
I mean, it's plastic. It's not supposed to break nothing except it. You may break it. You would break that rock before you break anything.
Some of them shits be hard. Not saying that I have one outside my house, but some of them shits be hard.
I hope you don't have one outside your house, and if you do, you need to change it now.
I don't have one outside my house. If I get locked out my house, I'm just gonna have to call somebody because there ain't no key sitting outside.
You don't know how to break into doors?
No.
Okay. Me neither. I was just asking.
Yeah, I'm not. I think that hide the key in the rock gimmick is probably one of the dumbest things in the world that anybody could freaking do.
So like as a kid, my parents did that.
Just my own personal opinion.
Yeah. But that was like in
Well, I think that we all did it
right.
when we were kids.
But like right now, nah, it's definitely not safe because a lot of people expect it. They're just like, let me look around and see if there's something around here. I'm just gonna be like, nah. Let me just hopefully somebody is in the vicinity or the same city as me that I can trust and I can get them a spare key.
Well,
Now,
I mean, at the end of the day, you can walk into any Home Depot or Walmart or whatever, and you can find the little whatever that you can hide the key in. So everybody knows that they're out there. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna try and break into this house. Here, let me look around and see if they've got any of these freaking stupid ass fucking rocks with the key hidden in it. Oh, look what I found. And you got the key, and now you break into the freaking house, get what you need, freaking take off out the door.
you gotta hide it under one of your plants. Not that I'm saying that I got one hidden under mine, but just some ideas. But when the guys are pretty much trying to leave the Kevin Spacey's house, Kurt drops the cell phone and it goes under the couch, which I'm just like, okay, this seems like it's going to come back on him. But I mean, realistically, that just seems like a good idea. Like you have 3 people that you're trying to get rid of. Try to plant stuff to where they can cross paths and I guess try to kill each other, even though I don't think any of them knew that they were capable of killing somebody. But Kevin Spacey's character was kind of crazy. And he was highly jealous. But granted, his wife was cheating on him. So he pushed him over the edge.
Yeah.
I think it was that surprise party.
At the end of the day, fucking Kevin Spacey just a dick.
Yeah.
This is true. Because he was going off on Dale for being outside his house, which I understand. If you was outside taking a night jog, somebody sitting in front of your house, I'm probably just going in the house, call the police, or get my gun. Because now I feel like you start like you're casing my house or something like that. What are you doing? Just sitting out here, looking all suspicious.
He had a really serious peanut allergy. And then Dale's just stabbing him in the chest.
That's a real thing, though. Most people that have peanut allergy, it's always very aggressive.
Yeah, but I don't think they need to be stabbed as many times as Kevin Spacey was in this scene. Like he stabbed him. He did the whole Pulp Fiction in the chest multiple times.
I was gonna say, I think ever since Pulp Fiction came out in the mid '90s, everybody has to understand that, legit, and then ultimately you end up with a freaking person with the damn big ass freaking needle sticking right out of the freaking chest.
Never forget that scene. That shit was crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, that whole movie was crazy. But yeah.
Yeah.
Uma Thurman with a big ass freaking needle sticking out of her chest. Yeah. No.
Vin Rames bent over in the basement.
Yeah, that is probably the hardest scene ever in the history of cinema for me to watch. There probably is worse, but yeah, him and Bruce Willis downstairs in the basement and bring out the gimp. No, I hit the fast forward button as fast as I can.
Oh man, yeah, that was definitely wild. But then we pretty much like Kevin Spacey's character. He's moving around trying to figure out if his wife is cheating. He finds the phone and he's just like, all right, fuck all of this. And then he goes and kills Colin Farrell. Were y'all expecting this? I'm not gonna call it a twist, but I definitely wasn't expecting him to actually be a killer. I wasn't expecting this kind of turn in this movie.
No, I knew there was going to be something. I didn't necessarily expect that per se.
Right.
It was a nice turn. It was a nice turn of events.
This movie was definitely twisted enough that there was shit going on.
Yeah. I knew he was going. I thought he was just going to beat him up, because Bobby was into the whole kung fu karate thing. So I thought he was going to, try to pull his moves real quick and get his ass kicked. But him getting shot twice was a wild turn of events.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
What was it? What movie was that? Where somebody jumped out and they trying to do the little kung fu and then they get shot. It was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do. Harrison Ford. Indiana Jones. Yeah. The guy comes
out and he's all flipping with the sword and he just
pow.
I feel like a few movies have done that though. Indiana Jones might have been the first, but I feel like it was a few movies where somebody came out and was trying to. I can't think of shit now, man. Like I can't think of it now, but I think a few movies have definitely tried that. But the guys are panicking because they just sitting there like, and for some reason Nick sped away from that crime scene after seeing it.
For some reason.
So okay, in my opinion, when you see something like that happen, running red lights does not benefit you, especially when the camera, a picture of you is taken, because it's just like, why are you speeding? I understand that you're in a panic mode, but you see the cops found them. And then if you've seen 21 Bridges, the reason why those guys were able to get the cops on their tail is because they ran a red light.
Oh. But but come on now.
No.
He's not thinking about any of that. He
obviously
he went to the house to commit murder.
What you panicking for when you didn't commit no murder? You're a witness. Your hands are clean of that whole situation. You saw what happened. Why are you panicking?
Why are you there? That's the question. Why are you there? You don't know anybody in this area or this neighborhood.
Jason, it's not against the law to drive around and sit in somebody's neighborhood. It's not against the law. It's not. I can go
it's
drive.
Suspicious.
It can be that all day, but it's not illegal. He didn't do nothing wrong. That's all I'm saying. I'm just like, Nick, relax.
But just like what you're saying, like, so when they got pulled up in the police station, it's like, all right, so yeah, you may not have killed him, but it's awful suspicious. The man that did kill, you know him. The person that you are with right now, he knows him, and you hanging out with a sex offender. You did something. You did something.
Nope. With all that stuff that you came up with, that's all circumstantial. That you ain't proved nothing. Thank you for all that evidence. And plus, I think we said it recently, it's a small ass world. You could bump into somebody while you traveling and not even at a concert. So it's a small world. Like, oh, really? My homeboy boss just got killed? Damn, that's wild. But you ain't got no murder weapons. You ain't got none of that. Did you find a gun on me in my car? Did you test my hand for any gunpowder? No? Then get the fuck out of here. So I'm just saying, because the cops gonna try to scare you in an interrogation room. And you sitting there crying like steel, like you ain't do nothing.
You sound like you've been interrogated a few times, Dad. You sound real equipped for a situation like that.
It's just my lawyer has prepped me just in case if I come across a situation like that. I'm not, no. But, and plus I listen to a lot of crime podcasts.
I believe it.
Yeah, there's enough of those out. there.
Because a lot of the times they scoop somebody up that has nothing to do with the murder and they end up doing time just because they were coerced or felt the pressure. They innocent as hell. But shout out to Dale because he was able to do his Law and Order drop it, the facts for him. What you think about that, Kasey?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, being a hardcore Law and Order does have some benefits to it. So, because without that capability, the whole situation could have been a lot worse than what it was.
Right. And he had a lot of confidence in what he was saying. It's just like, y'all just asking us questions. You can't book us. And the cops was like, no, we couldn't. Like, yeah, so we out of here.
Peace.
But I thought it was funny. So before they even got scooped up by the cops, when they were trying to go look for a cell phone, the cop that actually was questioning them when they were in the car was the same guy that was in the Old Spice commercials back in the day. Let me not say back in the day, but like a couple of years ago. I'm like, get your Old Spice smelling ass from my damn car. He probably smelled like Old Spice on the set.
He does a lot of little roles like that.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I remember seeing him. I'm like, where have I seen him before?
Yeah.
I hate when that shit pops up like that.
It's like the Verizon guy.
Like,
I see him in movies like that too.
Wait, which guy? You said the Verizon guy.
Yeah, like a curly. Not the. Are you here? Can you hear me now? Not that guy, but the guy with the curly.
I think he's in jail. I think that guy's in jail. Was he? Or
yeah, I think that's Jared from Subway. They look alike.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, so the one that used to be for Verizon, he went to Sprint, right?
Yeah.
He's a traitor. He's not loyal. Got you. Okay, the Subway guy, he's in jail because they found child porn on his computer.
Yeah.
Got you.
Stupid people.
Yeah. But I guess like at this time they were trying to figure out how to let the cops know that Kevin Spacey committed the murder. And they was like, let's go back to our murder consultant at the same club trying to get some money. The fact that he was like, I need more $5,000, and then he was like, $2? Well, can you buy my drink?
Haggle, man. If you go, why your closed mouth don't get fed, Jazz. So you might as well.
They was
closed mouth doesn't get a handy.
Exactly.
I guess I'm gonna leave that for y'all. But
you don't want a handy?
I can't.
Is that worse than a tip? A handy or a tip? You got to pick.
Ooh. I'll probably say handy sounds weird because it's just like I think of dick in hand. Just for I'm a woman, fingers. So fingers and tip.
Or you can pussyfoot. I seen that around on the internet too.
What?
Oh, never mind. You continue.
This was about to go a totally different direction. But since we're here, Jason, can you explain? Because I'm curious now.
Which one?
I feel like we've got a rabbit hole and we just jumped way down into that son of a bitch.
That's on brand for us.
There's a young lady on the internet with a foot inside of her.
No.
Can you kick it?
No.
Okay.
Fuck no. Ew. No. Nah. Mm-mm. All right. I'm gonna say fingers. Like no.
I mean, you say you don't like it girth. You like length, so I mean, you might want a size 12. I don't know.
Oh God, that sounds terrible, Jason. No.
Women can produce whole babies, so I know a whole foot ain't that bad.
Jason. That's coming out. You talking about a foot going in.
And
You don't
out.
even
It's
know what
doing both.
nah. That would look wild. Like trying to envision a dude that's like he's playing soccer. Like, no, nah. Nope. I'm gonna take the fingers. That's what my vote's gonna be. I don't even remember what your initial question was. It's with the fingers a tip, right? Because the tip is a trap. Kasey, question for you, since this is completely we are rails. Is just the tip
Yeah,
a
I kind of
trap?
sort of opened the door for that.
Is just a tip a trap?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. All right. That's all I needed. Don't say nothing, Jason. There's nothing you can say anyway. But so they pretty much go to Kevin Spacey's.
I feel like I can speak for myself and both of my co-hosts as well. Yes, it is a trap.
So that's 3 votes. Oh my God.
Look,
So,
no, it's I'm gonna tell you why it's not a trap. She consented. She understood exactly when it was offered of just a tip. I mean, like waiters and waitresses work for tips. So like it's not that bad of a thing to just for the tip.
I don't even know. I don't see the correlation of that at all whatsoever.
The tip ain't bad. It's not a trap. It's the gateway to more.
Oh, Jason.
Because it's the gateway. Because I mean, I'm just saying, how did you even get to a situation where like the tip?
How?
Yeah,
Easy. Be like, could be chilling. It's just like, let me just put the tip in. Like, no. Just a
so we
tip.
just
That's
wait.
it.
So we just sitting on the couch and it's like, hey, can I put the tip in? Like that. That's how that conversation goes.
No. Really? It could we just chilling, vibing, like, And maybe a sex scene came on a movie that y'all watched on Netflix. I don't know. Get the vibes together. Or you might be watching this, might be lusting over Jennifer Aniston. I don't know. Be like, just a tip. Any situation can.
How many situations are you in where
No,
tip was offered?
basically, when the tip is offered, it's more so, not all the time, but more so the man is like, let me just put the tip in. Not a lot of women gonna be like, let me just get that tip. Like, no, she gonna want the whole bank. But
clearly she want. I mean, is she the one doing the trapping? Because like all he offered was the tip. She's the one that didn't just accept just the tip.
basically, don't offer if you plan on giving more.
Don't
Don't be
offer
an
and plan on.
overachiever. Don't be an
That's not how that.
overachiever.
Don't
If
be
you
a
go,
beggar.
you know, all right, let's get out this rabbit hole.
Uh,
All right, so they're pretty much at, what you got, Kasey?
yeah, I was just gonna say. Anyway,
So they're pretty much at Kevin Spacey's house, and there's a surprise party. And they was like, "Oh shit, we wasted a surprise on y'all. All right, y'all come on in. We need to go ahead and get back together so we can get ready for when his character comes in." His wife obviously knows that he hates surprises, which is probably why he was just like, "This bitch, you know I hate surprises." She's like, "We got him, y'all. We got him," and probably why she out here giving somebody else mouth who just said she just looks like a model. I'm not gonna lie, Kirk was out here. He was pushing it a lot. He had Meghan Markle because she was a FedEx woman, wasn't she, Jason? You spotted her at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think she came back to get his signature?
She might have.
Or she got written up for not getting the signature?
I mean, it all depends. I'm pretty sure they shouldn't write her up for that. It was small.
Do y'all think their game plan of trying to actually record him was smart? Like doing it at the house, like confronting him and all of that?
I think so.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to find a way to cover your own ass. So, If that's what you got to do, then that's what you got to do.
And then we find out the person with the tape recorder is not in there. He's getting him some sex. And it's funny because Kevin Spacey's character was just like, yeah, I did it. Don't care. And since y'all thought y'all was about to pull this blackmail shit on my birthday, I'm gonna go ahead and take both of y'all out. And we get kind of like a chase scene.
I wasn't mad at that. Like, I mean, they had a great plan, but Kurt just kind of deviated from the plan. Truthfully, Kurt wouldn't have been the one that had it anyway. He's always in a different place the entire time, so I wouldn't have done that anyway.
The one that was the most responsible should have been the one with the tape recorder, which was Nick. But Kurt been pretty much smashing the entire movie. And then we get our chase scene at the end when it seems like the guys were pretty much screwed. Shout out to Gregory, not for stopping the car, but for recording that entire exchange. What y'all think about that scene when obviously Kevin Spacey ran into their car, shot himself in the leg?
First off, Gregory.
Yeah, he's a shady mother.
Go ahead.
Well, he's a shady ass motherfucker for shooting himself in the fucking leg. I'm not shooting myself in the leg for nobody.
So to try to go through those links to get your way in the situation is kind of crazy. But Gregory for shutting down the car, that was messed up in itself as well. Somehow we have to shut it down because you committed a crime.
Yeah.
Is that messed up?
Yes. I didn't ask you to assist me in the crime. What you stopping my car for, though?
Because they need to call the police so you can get arrested for the crime that you just committed.
I didn't ask cool to assist me, but here, just a tip.
Here, I got a tip for you, all right?
Don't go swimming after a big meal.
Don't go walking down dark alleys alone.
Yes.
But yeah, I thought that was funny that Gregory pretty much recorded that entire exchange. And so the guys didn't have to go to jail. So,
well, I mean, because otherwise the other recording pretty much got screwed up and didn't have the information on it that was needed. So, thank God for Gregory.
He was too busy recording Kurt and Kevin Spacey's wife having sex in his house.
Yeah.
He probably kept that recording too. Kurt seems like the type.
Yeah. He really does.
Just to play it back like a game of a jigsaw game.
Man, that's wild.
Man, what was it? After they did that, they all had, I guess they're all little celebratory moments. But it looked like Nick still got like a horrible boss, or at least a crazy one.
Just don't bring him his coffee cold. You won't end up in the trunk. That's it. That's what you can do to avoid that situation.
That's a wild situation to get into.
People take their coffee serious. But
yeah, I can say come spend any amount of time in the Pacific Northwest. People don't fuck around with their damn coffee up here.
So he might have been justified to put the dude in the trunk. Now, I don't know how long he was in there, but he said, I need to take a shower. So he probably was in there for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Sorry to that man right there.
Yeah.
But
you.
And we find out Marge isn't pregnant.
He was walking around the office rubbing her stomach, though. So I can understand why they thought that kind of sort of.
maybe she just wanted to feel on herself. Who's to say that she's pregnant? Don't can't make her be pregnant because she's touching the stomach.
You can't, but she did look pregnant.
She for sure did. She for sure did.
Yeah.
You think Kirk was trying to make a move on her?
Nah, absolutely not.
Why you say it
No,
like
I've
that?
seen a lot of guys like Kurt who will still act all flirty and kind like he was acting to her. But yeah, still at the end of the day, she had no shot of him getting it in. She was not getting just a tip from him.
Clearly, Julia, aka Jennifer
Jennifer Aniston.
Aniston, was not getting a tip from Dale.
Ooh, no, you thought really quickly maybe it might happen, something might happen, but then all of a sudden, just when it starts to get really good, freaking dude just out cold starts laughing. It's like, oh shit, I'm caught.
Sis started talking to his dick. Like Julia was wild.
She can be as wild as she wants with me. I will not complain.
Uh, and then like motherfuckers outside recording it. So now Dale is like, look, I got the recording of you trying to do this shit. You paying for
I've
my
got your video.
honeymoon, right? And she couldn't do nothing after that.
No, that's why you have motherfucker Jones.
So that $5,000 was actually worth it.
It was not. It was not. That video footage was not. I mean, I
Well,
guess it depends.
I mean, that $5,000 got him all expenses paid 2 week honeymoon.
And plus, it wasn't an actual 5,000 from his own pocket. It was split between the three of them.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, no.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, about 1750. So, give or take. I don't do math, so
You're right.
But it seems like the fellas all got a good happy ending. So that was a positive. Was there any other scene that y'all wanted to discuss from this movie?
I think we did a pretty good job at covering it all. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a great fucking movie. It's hilarious. For me, I love the fact that you had the quote unquote shout out to Alfred Hitchcock and Throw Mama from the Train. I loved Throw Mama from the Train as a kid. So I enjoyed it.
What is
I would definitely go rewatch Horrible Bosses 2 and see if it remind myself as to whether or not it holds up to the OG.
Yeah, that's the one where they pretty much got into business with each other. And I think it's got Chris Pine, which I don't really like him, but
No,
I liked him in that movie.
you're interesting, but I know that, but yeah, what I don't know. I like horror bosses too, though. I think it holds up.
But was it good though, Jason, this movie?
It was. It most certainly was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I like Hall Pass better, but I do enjoy this.
Hmm.
interesting choice. Another one of those that I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, I
If you
haven't
watched
seen it.
it, if you put that on, you're gonna laugh. Like you're gonna laugh, laugh, laugh. It's one of those movies that has a scene that no matter how many times I watch it, whenever I go back to it, even if I just YouTube it, I'm just like, man, this shit here, man. This dude here.
I have a few movies like that that I could do that for.
Which ones are there?
Um, oh, um, I'm drawing a blank right off the top of my head, but
Casey, I got a question for you. I was listening to one of you guys' earlier episodes back in August, and I know that it was the episode where y'all reviewed Midsummer. Have, so my question for you is, have you gotten to chance to watch Everything Everywhere All at Once yet?
not yet.
Damn.
Midsummer, it definitely was my first venture into the world
A24.
of A24.
Right.
Everything everywhere all at once is definitely something that has been literally slapping me in the face for a while. You need to watch it, you need to watch it, you need to watch. And I definitely will be getting to it rather quickly. But damn, that Midsummer came out of fucking nowhere.
Did you like it?
Hats off. In ways, yes. It definitely brought a level of creepiness that I wasn't necessarily expecting. I'm not necessarily a fan of the idea of going on a European vacation and being out in the middle of nowhere with a weird wackadoo freaking cult. That, yeah, I
Jazz
will.
loves cults.
Are we lying today? We lying. Yeah, sure. I love that movie and I loved Hereditary. The best things that I've ever seen in my life. Yep. You
I
can
mean,
hear.
Midsummer definitely brought something to the table that I wasn't expecting by any stretch of the imagination. And I would watch it again. Will I watch it 15, 16, 17 times? I'm not so sure about that. But yeah, Midsummer was a good movie.
Ooh,
What,
I'm glad.
what's your
And supposedly everything everywhere all at once is better. So
It
easily,
is 100%.
easily?
But
Um,
I don't like cult movies at all. Do not. Any cult movie that you could think of, I probably do not like it, especially the top main cult movies. Hate them shit.
so Casey, since we are in October, what's your what you have a favorite horror movies? Like movies that you have to watch when October comes around, or movies you just get back to
uh
often?
my probably my first two top favorite horror movies of all time, as far as like slashers go, would be like the original and Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 3. It
Three.
Amanda and I butt heads over this one all the time because she's a Halloween girl. I'm a Nightmare on Elm Street guy, and the two never mix. It's always
Yeah.
oil and
Halloween.
water.
Halloween is better.
Wait,
Hello,
who wins the debate when y'all are talking about Jason versus Freddy? Or actually, no, that's Jason, not Michael. My bad. Because Halloween is
Mike.
Michael.
We did a trivia challenge, and um, Amanda asked me Halloween questions, and I asked her Nightmare on Elm Street questions, and I'm depressed to say that she kicked my ass.
That just means you're not a good test taker. That don't mean you're not a good fan. That's it. That's all
That's
that
true.
means.
I agree with what Jason says. Um, as far as like straight up horror goes, though, I love like Psycho, The Exorcist, Poltergeist, movies like that.
Hmm. Okay.
So yeah, I'm definitely a huge, huge horror movie fan, and that's why I generally love September and October, because like September we do Stephen King movies all month long, and then October we do horror movies all month long. Unfortunately, we kind of sort of booked ourselves out a little bit too heavy in October this month, or this year. So some of our horror movies are going to bleed over to November this year.
No.
Ain't
What
nothing
y'all
wrong with
got?
that.
So,
What you got in your what you got in your slate?
um, well, we just released an episode on the Monster Squad last week. We've got Buffy the Vampire Slayer coming up. We've got Hellraiser coming up. We've got um Candyman coming up. Five Nights at Freddy's when it releases at the end of the month.
Can't wait to see that.
That's a nice
It
collection.
it looks interesting. So
It does.
um,
Are you
oh, we've
excited for
got
the new Exorcist?
I am only for the pure fact that it seems like they're doing right by it. So that doesn't necessarily mean that that's how it'll all play out when the movie comes out. But you know, we got to see. It does look good. It does look scary. So yeah, I'm excited. Um, now check back with me after I see it, and my opinion might change.
We definitely will, because we're reviewing that one ourselves. So we'll see. And Jazz already said it looks like ass. So we shall see.
Only reason why, and I have my reason as to why when I first saw the trailer, I was just like, nah, I'm not sold. And it's because like all the previous Exorcist movie or any kind of exorcism movie, there was never a black character because black folks don't really get involved with any kind of exorcism type of shit. We normally stay on the voodoo type of vibe. So with this one having
Yeah, like Get Out.
right or Skeleton Key, even though the main character was a
Yeah.
white woman, but you also had her black friend like that told
Mhm.
her don't fuck with voodoo. So for this one, I'm just like, all right, what y'all bringing to us? And I understand they wanted to bring in something new to where you had two girls get snatched up by the devil, but I'm like, all right. So I'm curious, and I've been seeing mixed reviews as well. Now, if it turns out to be good, I'll definitely drop that, and say that. But if it turns out to not be as good, Jason, you already know where I'm be leaning. I'm gonna be like, I told you this shit was gonna be trash. I don't think it'll be trash though, but I think it'll just be like, all right.
It might be
I don't
trash.
think I don't think it'll necessarily be trash per se. It may not live up to the hype, and that's definitely something that both Amanda and I got on board with last October when the last Halloween movie came out.
Ooh,
Where we all at on that?
Because um, we both came into that movie expecting this big, the final battle between Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers. And at the end of the day, I don't think the studio gave us what they were hyping up for the months leading up to the movie coming out.
Mm-hmm.
they didn't.
So to me it was false advertisement.
Mm-hmm. The same studio is doing Exorcist. So
That's another reason why I tend to hold back on I'm not gonna go all in with my excitement level just yet because we're looking at this is Blumhouse again. So
I mean, but Blumhouse
geez.
has done in the past like really good movies.
I don't think it's I don't I'm it's not Blumhouse. I think it's David
David
Gordon
Gordon.
Green. It's
Yeah.
him. I think that's what him and his team, like, because Blumhouse is just a production studio. It's
Right.
not is I don't think he runs that, if I'm not mistaken, right? He doesn't run that, right?
I'm
I'm
not.
not
think so.
100% sure, but at the
And
end of the
Jason,
day, all I know is they better not fuck this up.
I mean, it happens.
Mm. Kasey, when you ever when you go see the new Saw film, I would love to hear your thoughts once you see that.
I will definitely gladly give you my honest and real thoughts on that movie. I have some very real feelings about it going into because it seems like at a certain point in the storyline, things went weird, and I'll wait until I see the last movie before
Yeah,
I give you my whole thoughts on it.
yeah.
But
We'll definitely follow back up.
it definitely the original probably three and a half movies I saw were one thing, and then like everything that came afterwards it just feels a little bit weird.
When we drop our Saw X episode, please check that out. It's the one we're dropping it on Tuesday, episode 70. Please check that out. We geeked out horror high level for that one. But yeah.
We love horror movies on an evening at the movie. So when that drops, I will definitely gladly give you guys a shout out and encourage people to go check out that episode as well.
Yeah, yeah, we were big on horror over here. So, I guess as we wrapping it up, Jazz, what has what has your October looked like so far? What horror movies have you watched this month?
I mean, honestly, I wanted to get ready for our Saw X review, so I just been pretty much did a rewatch of all those films. I'll probably pick up something off of Tubi because I feel like they're gonna have a nice horror selection. But I don't have anything that I'm currently watching now. I try to at least get a nice Nightmare on Elm Street remake, or excuse me, rewatching, and of course some Scream because I stand Scream.
Stan
But
West Craven.
that too, shit, that's fine. Sure.
And it ain't nothing wrong with a little Wes Craven.
Or a whole lot. Here for it.
No tips.
Exactly.
Nah, that's
not
no,
just no just a tip for Wes Craven.
ain't no tip. I'm like, you get that shit out of here. Whole thing. So, but yeah.
Yo.
I'm a bit behind. On my horror movie watch. What about you, Case? What horror movies have you watched so far since this October?
A lot of it this month has been prepping for episodes that we've got coming up. So definitely like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, From Dusk Till Dawn,
Ooh.
Hellraiser, stuff like that. Candyman. I'll always make time for Nightmare on Elm Street. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll sprinkle in a little Halloween willy-nilly throughout there. So
Gotcha.
there's definitely some classics that you can throw out there and check out each and every year. So
That's a fact.
that's what's important. You can't let go of the classics. The classics are what brought us all to the dance. So
There you go.
I appreciate the classics, but I'm not really a huge rewatcher personally. So I'm always looking for something I hadn't seen. If I watch a classic, typically I'm trying to introduce my children to it. I think last year me and my oldest daughter, we was doing some Scream. We were going through the Scream franchise. So she's 13, so I think she's of age to go into that. I was getting scared shitless at 5 with Freddy Krueger and things. So I was fair. I didn't introduce it at a young age.
no, but you got to start them early enough that they can appreciate it as they get older.
And have nightmares. Because Freddy gonna give you nightmares, just like
Yep.
Pennywise.
Yeah. Exactly, 100%. I love my Freddy. I love my Pennywise.
But yeah, did y'all have anything else y'all wanted to add to this episode?
I didn't.
I'm good.
I didn't.
This
Yeah.
this was definitely a lot of fun, and we got to do it again when I can get the whole freaking group together. And Shanna's feeling better, and Amanda's not going to Norman for stupid Oklahoma Sooner game.
Hey now, hey, college football. That's my shit. So I said you said Oklahoma Sooners, right? Football game. That's my shit. I'm not a Sooners fan, but college football is very fun.
I love college football.
Like that, but man, this was an evening at the movies with the Was It Good Though podcast collab. Horrible Bosses. Case, we definitely appreciate you, man, for tapping in and talking with us. You have anything else that you want to mention out, throw out there for the people? Your handles or anything?
You can find An Evening at the Movies all over social media. Just look for, just search for the name An Evening at the Movies. You can find the show wherever you get your podcast listening fix. Also, we are always dropping the video recordings from our episodes every Wednesday morning as well on YouTube. So this was a lot of fun. I definitely appreciate you guys allowing me to come on and discuss this movie with you guys. We definitely need to do this again sometime. So check us out, and also check out The Simplest and Crime Rewind as well, just because they're not here to shout out their shows. So definitely check out Amanda and Shanna's shows as well. They're doing great stuff each and every week as well. So new episodes of Crime Rewind drop on Tuesdays. New episodes of The Simplest drop on Thursday morning. So check them out.
Guys, loaded up over there, man. Jazz, you have anything else you want to say?
No, I just want to say, Kasey, thank you. This was a pleasure. This was a lot of fun, and we'll definitely do this again for sure. Shout out to everybody that's listening and watching. Was a Good Though podcast. We drop every Tuesday morning. We got some bonuses coming. We got some live episodes coming. Pretty much goal right now, the biggest one for us is trying to get 500 subscribers on our YouTube before the end of the year. But we definitely appreciate everybody that chats with us, supports, shares, all of that. So
that's a fact. Everything Jazz said plus that. And that is all, folks.
cheers. Did you pull a Bugs Bunny? Like, that's crazy.
I did. Don't let Warner Brothers shut us down.